Blimey, Gav.
Go. Fill your notes, mate.
Right, I'm going to be quite quick because my daughter really needs a wee. And we don't know the reaction, do we, Steph? No, again. Hello everybody, my name is Nicky and I've been asked by Gavin to have the honour of being the best man. Firstly, I'd just like to thank you all for being here on this incredibly happy occasion. I'm sure you'll all agree that the venue is amazing, absolutely beautiful, Gav.
Thank you.
And the wedding itself was fantastic, it really was. So just can we just have a Now, I know what you're all thinking. Oh my God, I'm a better looking version of Gavin.
You better not mind me.
And that is, of course, because we are twins. I'm sure you're also wondering, if I got all the looks and the brains, what the hell did I leave it out? We're still wondering. We don't know. We're still wondering. Now, listen, this is the first time I've been a best man, and I have to admit, I thought it would be tough. You know, I've been with him for like 31 years. I thought it'd be really tough. Oh, it'd be really tough to, write a speech, digging up dirt, trying to recall lots and lots of embarrassing stories about him. But to be honest, with Gavin, it's so easy. I mean, I didn't have to make a thing up, Gavin. You give me all the material. You give me all the material. Let's be honest, Gavin's the dodgiest guy anyone in this room knows.
Don't clap that! You said you were going to give me it as well, didn't you?
Luckily for me, I'm already married, and Gav's already been my best man. So whatever I do, he can't get me back. So it's win-win. So I started to have a think, and after about 2 minutes, I realised the problem with Gavin wasn't remembering the stories. It was filtering out the ones which were so either illegal, immoral, or desperately degraded. I couldn't add them to the speech. For example,
oh, Nicky, leave it out.
I couldn't mention the time when our older brother came home after he'd had a few too many. And at the time, him and Gavin shared a room. He was a bit worse for wear. And he came into the bedroom and thought Gavin, who was sleeping in bed at the time, was in fact a toilet. And pissed all over him. But this obviously made our older brother feel very ill, because he then threw up all over him as well. And just to make it that little bit worse, Gav's car got stolen that night. True story. Gav, it comes in streets, mate. It comes in streets, isn't it?
Oh, you get so much.
You remember that? No, I can't mention that because it's a best man speech. We've got to be a little bit natural. Nor could I mention the time when Gav, who was thinking he was Mike Tyson, decided to get into a little fight with a bouncer. Although I think he may have regretted it a little bit as he was being pelted through a window.
That bouncer regretted it.
Now, as I've already mentioned, me and Gavin, as you've noticed, do look reasonably similar. In fact, back in primary school, we used to get mixed up quite a lot. So, if you do get confused about who is who, there's a really, really easy way of telling. Just go up to us and have a conversation with us. Right. Well, yeah, actually, yeah. That wasn't even a joke. That's the start of it, calm down. Come over and have a conversation with us. And if you hear the word fuck in it more than 3 times,
oh, F-bomb! 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 It's told me off all week.
Now, throughout the years, Gav has had a lot of nicknames, many of which I will not mention. However, I would like to mention a couple of my favourites. My absolute favourite.
My lads at work here, I swear to you right now, you're just
Guys, my absolute favourite. This is the best one. This is the best one. My absolute favourite is Gav the Chav.
I embrace that. That ain't even nickname.
It just works so well.
Does somebody else know about that as well?
It just works so well, and in fact, I had to persuade Gavin that he cannot put his trousers into his socks, and that the Vauxhall Nova as a wedding car was a definite no-no. The other nickname which comes to mind is Knock-Off Nigel.
I give you that, didn't I? I give you that.
That's been in there for 2 years ago.
Right, yeah. Jimmy, don't look at me like that, mate.
This actually was in fact the name of his eBay account. Until he worked out that selling cars with the name Knock-Off Nigel doesn't sound too great. Now,
These over here are an absolute ball.
He thinks it's a joke.
That's not a joke. That's bang on truth, I'm telling you. Nothing I've said is a lie. I'm not about to make anything up.
Completely fanciful, like I said.
Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, Knock-Off Nigel. Where have I heard Knock-Off Nigel? I'm sure I've
Believe it!
And you're right, you would have heard it before, because about 5 years ago, maybe longer, the government ran a number of TV adverts. And these TV adverts were aimed at dissuading people from illegally downloading films, burning them to DVDs, and selling them down the local pub. Unfortunately for Gavin, I think the message was maybe lost a little bit. And instead he thought these were recruitment campaigns. Now, I'm sure everyone in this room has at some point had a conversation with Nigel. And you'll all be happy to know that your contribution is what's made this wedding so great today. Seriously though, Gavin has asked me just to mention one thing. There's a stall at the back, DVDs are limited, so get it.
5 for dinner.
5 for dinner. Yeah, it's a good deal. It's a good deal, 5 for dinner.
6 makes right.
That's right. Of course, Leanne and Gavin first met when they both worked at London Leather. But before we talk about that, I think we should look at some of Gav's work history. It's a tad checkered. From leaving school, Gav saw a fantastic opportunity. Working in a mushroom picking factory. This is all true. It's true. Yeah, and he stayed there for a little bit until he realised they didn't grow those type. I think the other problem, of course, is that it was quite dirty work. Now, those of you who know him well, and I guess the guys in the table, he's a bit of a clean freak, isn't he? He likes things to be just right. Yeah, he's got a bit of OCD. In fact, last night consisted of him vacuuming the living room floor and cleaning the fridge. I'm not lying, that's exactly what he did.
Can a cock exploded in the fridge? That you did?
How do you do that? He's the only guy I know who washes his hands before he takes a piss. My favourite though, and this is an absolutely true story, was when he thought he'd follow our father into the noble profession of the printing industry. Yeah, you're laughing because you know what's coming up. Of course, Gav being Gav.
All 318.
Of course, Gav being Gav, it had to be different. And he joined the only printing company in the whole of Yorkshire that printed porn magazines. Now, you might think that was easy work. But I tell you what, Gavin came home every night going, my wrist is killing me. Now, that brings us to Landed Leather. It's not a sex shop in Armley, I promise you. It's where Gavin and Leanne's love first started to flourish. Even in the early days, when they just met, I remember Gav coming home, massive smile on his face, telling me that he'd met this girl at work. This is true, though.
It's true.
I think even then he knew that was the girl he's going to marry. I really do. And who could blame him? Leanne is not only beautiful, I mean look at her, she's stunning. But she's got a fun, kind, outgoing, fantastic personality to match. doesn't she? And like I say, I'm sure everyone agrees that she looks absolutely stunning today. Of course, it took a while before they became an item, but I tell you what, I'm so glad they did. Leanne, you've been nothing but positive for Gav, honestly, you really have. Since they've met, he's been happier, he's been calmer, and he's become an absolutely fantastic dad. Fantastic, mate. Before Leanne came along, he lived for the weekend. His mantra was eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Now he's with Leanne, it's more like eat, get a babysitter, rave with Leanne, FaceTime me at 4 AM, sleep, repeat. But if you think about it, they're just the perfect couple. They balance each other out fantastically. Leanne, confident, independent girl, knows exactly what she wants, and let's be honest, she generally gets it. Gav, he just does what he's told.
He's hammered me, hasn't he?
I'll be nice now.
Yeah, good.
Gav might tell you that he thinks he isn't everyone's cup of tea. And he doesn't apologise for that, quite rightly too. However, everyone who knows him, everyone who knows the real Gav, knows he's soft on the inside and he's got a heart of gold. He's a bloke that will do anything for his mates. He's a bloke that's always got your back. He's a bloke you can call any time for a chat. He's the guy that calls my wife sis. And I love that. Phoebe, shush. I'm his brother, his twin. I've been his nemesis, his rival, his teammate. We've been each other's counsellors. I'm his closest friend, and I've been his worst enemy. And now I'm his best man. And I've loved every single minute of it. Leanne, I hope you're as proud to have him as a husband as I am to have him as a brother. Now, if everyone would be upstanding. I am very pleased to finally raise a glass and introduce the newest Mr. and Mrs. Foster, Gavin and Leanne. Cheers!